foul. That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man. Being tough.
Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
First Celtics game was back when I was like 7
The
years old.
Boston Celtics became legendary.
What is going on YouTube? It's Boy Chisholm here on YouTube and from B-Town Takes. We're back again with another reaction video! Exclusive with new Celtics owner Bill Chisholm. I want to raise banners now and in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new owner for the Boston Celtics. And it is by the name of Bill Chisholm, a managing director of Symphony Technology Group in California. Chisholm grew up in the North Shore in Georgetown, Massachusetts, and is a lifelong die-hard Celtics fan. And a lot of the quotes that he's already said out there to the public, you gotta love it as a Celtics fan. You gotta have some optimism going forward. Bill Chisholm says, growing up in the North Shore and attending college in New England, I have been a die-hard Celtics fan my entire life. I understand how important the Celtics are to the city of Boston. The role the team plays in the community is different than any other city in the country. I also understand that there is a responsibility as a leader of the organization to the people of Boston, and I am up for the challenge. He also goes on and says, I bleed green. I love the Celtics. When opportunity came up, I couldn't pass it up. Wick has done an incredible job, so why would you mess that up? I've had a couple sit-downs with Brad, and it's been about aligning our goals and extending the window of this team. And we went even further in finding out that Bill Chisholm has asked Wick Grossbeck to run the team as the CEO and governor for the first 3 years and to stay on as his partner. And he was glad to do so. So, Wick Grossbeck's here for a little bit. We got 3 years left of Wick Grossbeck. I don't know if that's going to be like the window or whatever. I would hope it's longer than 3 years. I could see it being longer than 3 years. But we got Wick Grossbeck on the team for another 3 years. And then we also have a guy coming in as the new owner who is from here, who is a diehard Celtics fan. From the quotes I've seen on Twitter, he sounds just like us. Me, GRD, Bree, Steph, Caveman, all the die-hard Celtics fans, he sounds exactly like us. From what I've seen so far, at least. And he's not viewing this team as an asset. He's viewing this more as in, I want to win. I'm a fan of the team, and I only want to see this team succeed, and I only want to see them win. Sure, maybe the roster will look different because the second apron is going to look crazy. But it's nice that he has a ton of knowledge on the Celtics. And it's nice to know that, hey, I don't really want to mess this up. So, the actions are going to obviously speak louder than the words. But at the end of the day, I will say this. It is not FSG. And that is a huge W. And at this point, right, it's not even Robert Kraft. Because he has been running that team terribly for the last 5 years. So that's a round of applause also. So far, though, I'll get more of an idea on this interview here because in front of the microphone, you can read like his emotions and like everything else. Text, you really can't. So that's why we're reacting to this video here. I apologize if I've been inactive for a little bit now. If you guys were on my live stream, I think it was Wednesday night. There was some stuff going on between, I shouldn't say me, but like something was going on with one of my very close friends, Bree, and it was really demoralizing from the things that I was seeing the other day, in the last few days, I should say. And last night, we had a nice night out. We went out to the bar to go watch the Celtics game. We had dinner, and then we got to go to see Gary's Collection, one of our good friends, we got to see his collection of the most insane sports memorabilia. I am uploading this video on Saturday, so by the time this video comes out, all the memorabilia that we got to see and like his collection, so on and so forth, is on my Instagram stories. So go follow my Instagram if you want to see game-used Babe Ruth bats, game-worn Larry Bird practice jackets that sign, you name it, this guy had it. Shout out to Gary for letting us in his home last night to check out his collection and letting us into his store last night as well. And also, huge shout out to Steph last night. I cannot forget to thank Steph as well for giving us the opportunity to go see this collection that Gary has collected for years, and I mean multiple years. Many, many, many sports memorabilia that I would have never imagined ever seeing and even holding in my hands. So huge shout out to Steph for also giving us the opportunity to go see this incredible collection and to see that incredible store last night. And we're all definitely feeling a lot better today after the night we had last night. We needed a night like that last night. And it was just nice to hang out with my family and be with them and to cheer Bree up and cheer really all of us up, because we have all been down from everything that we've been seeing on Twitter. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it already. I don't really have to go and explain it, but like, I don't want to talk much on the matter, but it was a great night. We feel a lot better, and now we can kind of move forward, and now we're back on the grind here. So we're about to go into this video here. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link is in the description down below. And without further ado, stop straight to the video. Shout out to Bree for the koozie. Shout out to Bree for the cup mat.
The Celtics Talk Podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com.
Gifted me a couple stuff yesterday. We'd love to see it.
England.
What's up, everybody? Super special, kind of emergency edition. Wanted to let this breathe a little bit. But the Celtics have a new owner. Bill Chisholm is taking over at the helm of the Boston Celtics. The Grosbeck family selling the franchise for $6.1 billion. A record in North American sports, eclipsing the Washington Commanders at $6.05 million. And we were lucky enough today to get a chance to catch up with both Bill and Wick, talk about the process and the transition ahead. I think it's neat because you hear when I joke at the start of the interview, new owner, and we're all, who is this guy? And we've got Google searches in Boston. We're probably off the charts trying to figure out just a little bit about it. I think Celtics fans are going to be invigorated to learn his ties to the region and how invested he is in continuing the success.
Oh my god, how did I forget? Thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. How did I forget that? See, there's been a lot of stuff going on. That just went right over my head. Thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. We hit 3K the other night. I was a little bit down when I hit 3K, so I wasn't live for it, and like, I didn't get my reaction to hitting 3,000 or whatever, but thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. You guys don't even know. I love each and every single one of you guys so much for the continued support on this channel and everything that I do here.
Of the Celtics, obviously a lot of tough decisions ahead for him in terms of this roster, in terms of a new building, and he addresses all that in our chat. And it's great to hear Wick's perspective about being able to stay on and steward this thing through, both with the sale of the team, but also stay on and lend advice for someone who has now brought 2 championships to Boston. It has been a little bit of a crazy day trying to parse that information, and it sort of sits there and hovers over as the Celtics prepare for their quest to repeat as champions. And both Wick and Bill sort of talk about that you know, it's a little bit of an odd timing, but a chance here for them to start this transition process. And I think everyone's in that side is invigorated to see where this goes. So let's start there. Let's get right into our conversation with Bill and Wick. Bill and Wick, I can't thank you guys enough for taking some time on a crazy day. Congratulations to both of you. Wick, can you just lead me through? I mean, take us back from July to this point. How did we get here? What has especially this last few days been like?
Yeah, July was a big surprise to everybody, and but the family made their decision, and so we went with that. I went with that, and
That means it wasn't
focused on
Wick's decision.
Celebrating this summer, taking the team to Abu Dhabi, but in the background, things were coming into focus, and we started meeting people. And the minute I met Bill, I felt a strong affinity for him and what he was bringing to the table. And it's developed over these past months, and we had a final sort of like March Madness of our own last week. And we had some great people looking at it. We and very truly appreciate everybody, including current partners, a whole group of current partners at the Celtics, led by Steve. And there were a bunch of bids that were great, and it meant a lot to them. I'm sure it's a lot of work putting together. It meant a lot to us to receive them. We had professional advisors, and they kind of said when bid really stood out. And Bill's bid stood out. He really wants it, and he's really going to be a great lead owner. And we're going to transition into that over 3 years. And he's a great person. I couldn't be more happy.
I wonder if
Bill, the Google searches in Boston have been out of control today, trying to get a little taste of your background. I think I saw that maybe this was started way back when you were a kid and maybe dreaming of this potential opportunity. What does it mean to be the new owner of the Celtics? And tell me about your fandom.
Yeah, you bet. First, I did say it. I want to say again, though, I'm really excited to be talking to you. I watch you guys all the time. You and Abby and Eddie and Drew and Scal. This is really fun for me. So thanks for doing this. I grew up.
I did see the clip where Bill Chisholm said, "I'm a huge fan of yours," and Forsberg was like, "Me?" And he was like, "No, that's got to be a lie." He's like, "No, I'm a huge fan of you and Abby and everything else." And I was like, "Oh my god, that is crazy. That is amazing." That was his first impression to Forsberg or whatever. Like, bro, absolutely nutty, crazy. Sounds like the general fan expression. Like, "Oh my god, I'm a huge fan." Like, wild.
Town, which is up on the North Shore, up by Newburyport, and I have been a Celtics fan forever. I grew up listening to Johnny Most, and the first instantiation was the JoJo White, Dave Cowens, Havlicek, and then it was Bird, McHale, Parrish, ML Carr, all those guys. Just to have that, the luxury of growing up with those teams, and how could you not be a fan growing up in New England when those teams were playing?
True.
And I just was an absolute, passionate fan, bleed green, and then you fast forward to the last 20 years, the job that Wick and his group have done is just incredible. It's just been amazing, and I followed the team. I watch almost every game. I'm way into it, and then to have this opportunity. Just incredible. I have to pinch myself.
Tell me about the process from your perspective, Bill. Like, how did this final week? Are you sweating? Are waiting to find out if you're going to be the one? And what is that moment like when you get the call that the bid has been accepted?
Yeah. My background, for my business, we invest in companies, that sort of thing, and I'm used to doing that and having investments and deals and that kind of thing. Yeah, it was like, this is nothing like that. I was just so invested in this personally, and so much passion for the Celtics, and and all these things, you're just never really sure until it's done, and very, very emotional time for me, and we got it across the line, and I just it's just be able to spend that, to share that with my family, and have that this connection is and have something like this happen is, any kid that that grows up in New England to have a situation like this is just, anyone would want this, and it's just an amazing thing.
Wick, tell me about it from your perspective, next steps moving forward, and how thrilled are you to be able to sort of still be a part of everything moving forward?
I really am. This has been my life's work for a couple decades. Really great people went before. We were watching that on Celtic City. on Max. That's a show that people are loving. That it's taken us all the way back, and these are the people we're trying to somehow take care of what they built. And it's a big responsibility. It's something that means a lot once you're in here. You realize Celtics are bigger than yourself, and but they're worth, caring about and worth trying to move it forward. And so it's really great to find somebody like Bill and his group who are going to come in. And they want to keep it the same. They love Brad. They love Joe. They want to
keep it the same.
Team being competitive. He lives for banners. That's all I ever hear about from Bill is, banners. And I just am really excited to welcome him to the family.
And Bill, I don't want to throw the hard questions out early, but it is the ones I'm hearing the most often from fans already out here. When you hear new ownership, you're wondering how much you're willing to spend. You're paying a big price tag for this team. How committed are you to keeping the product we see currently on the court long term?
Yeah. I mean, this is going back over time. This is the best, the best franchise in any sport for me, anywhere in the world. It's just an incredible team, and the legacy that comes with that, and frankly, the responsibility too, and that I do feel. And yet the commitment to excellence that the teams had from, way back in the Red Auerbach, Bill Russell, Kuzi, all the way to, to Wick and what he's done, and with his group, and with the team now with Brad and Joe, it's just, it's incredible. And, I, as Wick said, I want to raise banners. I want to raise them now, and I want to raise them in the future as well. And I look at what Wick has done, and Brad has done, and Joe has done, and the time is now. And they've also set the team up for the future as well. So that's part of the reason why I come in here, and we come in here as a new investor group, and we're partnering with Wick here because he's done an amazing job. And if why would you change
Wick?
that at this point?
And Wick, what would your message be to Bill coming in? And what's your advice from all those years? And the other part of that would be, what do you tell the team? Because it can be, it's something that hovers over as you're getting ready for a quest to start a title run again. What's your message to the team in that instance?
The first thing, let's take the team first, and then any advice I might have for Bill second. And they're both very, very simple. But I've actually talked to Jalen and Jason and Joe and Brad and said, just so you know, the people who are looking, these finalists, this very small group of finalists, are all great, and they can all do the job. And we won't let it go to anybody, that would fall short of that. So,
yep, screw you, FSG!
It's out to see. We did it. We did it!
Yeah, piss off, FSG! See you later! Yeah, you never had a shot at that shit. Hell no. No. I just knew. I knew Wick was going to get it in the right hands, and I knew he wasn't just going to sell it to anyone. Yep, FSG. Sorry, not sorry. Robert Kraft, after these last 5 years, sorry, not sorry either. I know he wasn't in the rumors, but still.
Just a few days ago when I saw them all at practice, it's okay. Just don't put it in your mind. Take it off your mind if you can, because we've got you. This is going to go fine, and that's what I truly believe. What I said to, and they said, we trust you. I mean, Jason Tatum literally looked at me and said, I trust you, Wick. Got it. And I don't, I think
awesome,
and with good reason, hopefully, that he trusts me. So everything's good on that front. Any advice to Bill? I think I've just told Bill. He should tell you if I've given any advice, but I think it was, be yourself. You are a fan. The fans are going to love you. We're not going to win every game together, but I hate to break news, but you're not going to win every game. But they want to see that you care, that you're a fan who bought the team. That's our group here. We're fans who bought this team. You're a fan who's buying in. And some of our group is continuing on with you. I'm continuing on. And we're going to be fans who are running this team.
I love that.
For Celtic pride, on and off the court. That's the message. And then when you do that, everything else follows.
Bill, what's it like? I've heard.
What if Bill only bought like Herb Prospects?
Have you had a chance to connect with Joe Mazzulla
steak,
and some of the guys yet?
and Wick is going to stay on.
To introduce yourself to this.
I know. I've already said that Wick's going to stay on for the first 3 years. But could this be a long-term thing? I don't know. From the sounds of it, it's sounding like it's going to be that way.
It's like I'm starstruck. First of all, Brad Stevens is a basketball genius, and to be able to sit with him and just hear how he thinks about the Celtics and talent and building culture and all that, amazing. So that was an incredible opportunity, and I look forward to having more of those with him. Joe, I'll hopefully be speaking to here today, and I'm looking forward to that. And it's similar kind of thing. So much respect for what he's done and what he's built and the culture that he's built with the team, and just the overall commitment to excellence. So it's as a fan, you get a chance to spend time with them, and it's really, really special. And to be a part of it, and just even playing a little part in helping to maintain and grow the legacy is incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, Bill, what was your first Celtics memory? When was your first time in the Garden? When can we expect to see you again? Like, what's it going to be like?
Yeah. So I was trying to go through because I grew up in Georgetown, so I remember what I'd asked for my birthday was to go to a Celtics game, and occasionally I did. And I remember going with my cousin. And the seats we got were the obstructed view. We were in Boston Garden behind one of the big, poles, whatever they were, concrete poles, and we saw half the court anyways, and we were, annoying the people next to us trying to look around the other side. So
that's hilarious.
Absolutely, remember that so well. And the other thing that just kind of sticks out to me, just so
that is
random
funny
things,
as shit.
I remember just listening to Johnny Most, and his how should we say it, his very balanced point of view on what was going on in the court, which I really, really enjoyed, and kind of got me into that homerism in a huge way. And what was the other part of your question? I'm trying to remember now.
So you were there for any other memorable games that you've been at, and when can we expect you to be here in Boston with us again?
Yeah. I've been to a lot. I remember just random things. My favorite player during the Big Three era was Leon Poe. I remember
okay, that's random.
It was his career high, and I just really loved the way he played, and I remember that coast to coast.
Wait, which game is it?
I remember I was at a game when I think they were playing Memphis, and it was his career high, and I just really loved the way he played, and I remember that coast to coast dunk that he had against the Lakers in the finals. That I just really
the Posey game.
Some special memories with thinking.
One of my first playoff games ever.
I was with him at the Nets game the other day. He was right with me at the Nets game the other day.
I've seen him at some games. He's there quite a bit. I know
he's always there.
So I'm a big fan of his. And then you'll see me April 2nd next time they're home, and then
nice.
April 4th too.
Hell yeah.
That's got to be great. I can't wait to see the building at that point. Wick, I'm going to start to wrap up, but I am curious, if you have a message to the fans, like how you're feeling in this moment, like what's this day been like? Give me a summary of how what you want to leave people with.
I do have a message. This can be the same one I gave to Jason Tatum. It's going to be okay. It's going to be great. I think we found a really good guy who burns with a desire to be a great owner, and that's what you want, and that's what you're going to get.
Bill, I do have one question for you. I got to ask again. The arena, it doesn't come. You paid a lot of money for this team. There's going to be questions. Have you started even thinking about that stuff as a businessman? Do you start thinking about the future, long-term future of this franchise?
No, I haven't put much thought into that. I mean, there's a lot. There've been a lot of banners raised in that location, that the Celtics are in right now. So that's a pretty important part of the history. We'll get to thinking about that, but it's also a decision that's down the road. So, but that'll be that'll be down the road.
All right, now the easy part. What are we doing for celebrating tonight? Once you're done all these interviews, how are we going to kick back and relax?
Okay, so I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to watch the documentary because I would have just broken my heart. Like, in part of this process. So the celebration.
He's gonna start watching the documentary.
Which for me
That's
is crazy
awesome.
because like I should be, I should have watched it, each episode 5-10 times already, but I held back because I wanted to see where this kind of all ended up. I would have eventually gotten there and watched it, but now I'm all in.
It's amazing.
You know what? I'm all in too. I like this guy. I like this guy. I'm all in. I'm all in. He sounds like us. He legit sounds like me, the GRD crew, GRD Bree, Steph, Caveman, Fleezus, the diest of the diehard Celtics fans. He sounds exactly like us. He sounds exactly like us. I am all in on this guy being the new owner. All in. Yep. I'm smiling. I'm liking this so far.
Amazing. And a funny thing in the third part, Red Auerbach introduced the new owner. And he says, and I want you to meet, Irv Levin, John Y. Brown. And he rolls his eyes. So that's the way it was with Red, okay? You always got with you, but I don't think you would have done that with you. I knew Red. I brought him back. Luckily, we got to work with him for 5 years, I think, and he's the best. So hopefully Red's looking down on us today, and hopefully it's all going to work out.
I can envision in episode 10, we'll revisit this series down the road, the transition, but still winning championships. You guys can muscle your spot in there. Last thing, Bill, family members, are they Celtics fans? Do we have to convince anybody?
Yeah. My wife is a huge fan. My kids.
Well, that helps it too.
We'll say they bleed green. So
nice.
Huge fans, and
he's a green teamer.
They're just so excited, and we all are. It's a family affair for sure.
Well, I can't thank you guys both for taking time out of a crazy day. Congratulations again to you both. Bill, I hope you're ready for me to bug you early and often throughout this process. I've let Rick slide.
I'm going to come find you. I'll come find you on the second. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait. Hey, again, guys, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
All right, so we're going to watch Getting to Know the Celtics' new owner, Forsberg's Fours, Bill Chisholm. So, soft train to it.
All right, let's get to bringing the heat because there's a lot of heat here today. It's brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're in your neighborhood. Here's a quick look at the bio of the Celtics' new owner, Bill Chisholm. Okay, he grew up in Georgetown, Mass, and he also went to Dartmouth. He's a diehard Celtics fan. He serves as managing partner at Symphony Technology Group. Here he is yesterday talking to our very own Chris Forsberg.
I'm really excited to be talking to you. I watch you guys all the time. You and Abby and Eddie and Drew and Scal. This is really fun for me. So thanks for doing this. I grew up in Georgetown, which is up on the North Shore, up by Newburyport, and I've been a Celtics fan forever. I grew up listening to Johnny Most and the first instantiation was the JoJo White, Dave Cowens, Havlicek, and then it was Bird, McHale, Parrish, ML Carr, all those guys. Just to have the luxury of growing up with those teams, and how could you not be a fan growing up in New England when those teams were playing? And I just was an absolute passionate fan, bleed green, and then you fast forward to the last 20 years, the job that Wick and his group have done is just incredible. It's just been amazing, and I followed the team. I watch almost every game. I'm way into it, and then to have this opportunity, just incredible. I have to pinch myself.
I could pinch myself when he said that he is a huge fan of you, Chris. I mean, his very first words.
I know. I'm trying to get.
Chris, I gotta admit.
Trying to find
huge
that.
Fan, love the show, love what you've been able to do. That's his first words. Had you in it? Are you kidding me?
I know. It's kind of surreal. And look, I'm a big Bill Chisholm fan now, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with this franchise. But it was funny yesterday. You hear the news and you're like, who is this guy? And it was kind of interesting for me to find out a little bit about his pathway. But you get the sense that it's just a guy who grew up a super diehard Celtic fan. And now he's going to own it and to get a chance to shepherd this into another generation and hopefully some more titles. So for the Forsberg 4, we wanted to do 4 of the things I learned yesterday that I thought were fun beyond the business of basketball and all that goes into that. We start with number 1. He says Brad Stevens is a genius. I like this guy already. He
right.
around here because he said he got a chance to sit down with Brad in the bidding process, learn the pathway to the future. And let's face it, I think everyone who comes in contact with Brad comes away with the same idea. Like, wow, this guy is razor sharp. He knows what he's talking about, whether it was when he was a coach, now as a GM,
right.
and everything that he does for the organization. I love that in that meeting, there's a chance to sort of lay out, like, here's what we have planned for the future of this. Here's what it's going to be financially. Here's our hopes to how to keep this a contender.
Right.
And I just love that Bill comes out of it and says, I was a little bit starstruck. $1 million buying the team, and he's starstruck.
Right?
I love it.
And also, you know, a lot of questions revolving around this guy, like, what is he going to do? Is he going to shake things up? And
He's
for him,
phenomenal.
Chris, to say that he is starstruck of Brad Stevens, call him the genius, that already kind of sets the tone of, like, okay, this is a collaborative kind of guy who, by the way, is from this area. Hit me with 2.
All right, number 2. He's a big Leon Poe fan. We love
that
when
was
2008 Celtics were referenced around.
That was
here.
a I did not expect that one. I didn't see that one coming.
A whole bunch. But when we hear he's got this encyclopedic knowledge of the Celtics and he appreciates the past and everything, you heard him rattling off the 80 Celtics and those that came before him.
Yeah.
I love that he referenced a role player. It's someone with
Right.
appreciation. It's easy to say we all love Kuzi and Russell,
KG,
all the guys. Yeah,
Tatum,
exactly.
Brown.
But for him to sort of have the same affinity for the guys that we kind of love, like, you know, if he had said Robert Williams, then, like, all bets were off. But I have a great affinity for Leon Poe as well, and they don't win that championship in 2008.
No, facts.
Play of some of those role
True.
players. And so I love it. They're going to get to sit together at an upcoming game and, you know, catch up on old times.
I was happily stunned by that answer because, like you said, it could have been a Kuzi, it could have been, you know, the Jays
Havlicek.
right now, or KG,
Could've-
or
yeah,
Big
Jays,
Three, but
right.
That one took
Lock
me
it
aback,
down,
so I
Leon.
was happy about that one. Trey.
All right, number 3. He sat in the obstructed view seats at the Old Garden. Look, if you grew up here and you were lucky enough to go to a game, Kaylee, you were what? I mean, the Fleet.
I did.
20, you went to the Old Garden?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No,
Sorry.
yeah.
I thought you were taking me back to, like, my
I was doing
KG era.
math and I was like, there's no chance.
Not the
you're at
Old Garden. No,
You'd have some
sorry,
explaining to do. So, look, if you were lucky enough to go to that old place, you know it was a rite of passage to walk in there and have a gigantic pole in front of you and to be craning your neck around the side just to get a glimpse of Larry Bird or whoever else was on the team. If you were like me and you went there in the 90s, you were like, who are these guys and why isn't Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls on the one night that I actually went to the Garden? I love that Bill got that experience too. He said he got it for a birthday gift when he was a kid, got to go to the Old Garden. I don't know. He understands the nostalgia, the history, everything that went into it. He's going to have slightly better seats the next time he's...
You think?
Slightly.
I
We're expecting
don't know about that, man. He might be way up in the nosebleeds of that. I'm
First
just
game
kidding.
they come back.
And fans be ready to cheer.
And he wanted to meet you personally, by the way. Did you hear him say that? He goes, did you not hear him say that? He goes, I want to meet you. I can't wait to see you, Chris.
That's unbelievable.
So we'll get that in post up too, as well. I expect that. All right, number 4.
Number 4. How does a guy who buys the team for $6.1 billion celebrate? He decides to start the Celtic City documentary. My favorite part of this is, imagine he's going through this bidding process, a lifelong fan of the team, and he's eager to, like, be part of that history, bidding for the team. So as this documentary with a whole bunch of hype comes out, he can't bring himself to start watching it because it'll sting too much
If he doesn't get the
bid.
team.
He's
That's
not
so
the
unbelievable.
of it.
That is
Him and his
phenomenal.
family, who all have New England ties, given the family ties there, sat down last night, pressed play.
Honestly, I'd probably be the same way, to be honest.
The entire 3 episodes. I keep telling him, maybe there's 9 episodes in this series. Maybe he's in episode 10, 11, 12,
Right.
deeper into the future. But it's got to be so cool to start that and know that you're diving into it.
Right. Alrighty, that is going to do it for this video here. Welcome to Boston, Bill Chisholm. Well, I should say welcome home, Bill Chisholm. Welcome to Celtics family, even though you were already in the Celtics family, it seems like. And I'm excited. I'm in. I'm in on Bill Chisholm being the new owner for the Celtics. I am in. It's not FSG. I think Celtics fans really won in this situation here. I think the Celtics fans won. And unlike the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks and these new owners that have came in and made changes right away, Wick staying on board and kind of showing the ropes of how to run the team and everything else, I think that's going to be a very, very good thing for Bill Chisholm, because he's not gonna end up making mistakes like trading a Luka Doncic or trading everything for a Bradley Beal or whatever. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the new future for the C's. I have optimism that this core is going to stick around, especially the Jays. I mean, I think if you got rid of the Jays, you were going to be dumb anyways. But, like, now I'm way more optimistic about the Celtics' future than I was before. I will say that. So, that's going to do it for this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link is in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching this one. It's been your boy Jesse. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys. Tired from last night. I was out till like 3:30 in the morning.